In this video, I'm going to reveal one simple secret that most business owners and companies never try. It is so simple and straightforward. All it takes is one weekend, and that can transform the entire trajectory of your business. But what am I talking about? It's nothing special, it's nothing crazy. What I'm talking about is a simple weekend workshop. All I'm talking about is sacrificing one weekend where you bring your entire executive team, your leadership team, bring them in a room and get them to strategize and visualize what the next 3 to 5 years of your business looks like. And in that workshop, you see what's holding you back. You figure out what your lowest effort, highest impact deliverables are. You assign those deliverables to your team members. You execute them within a given timeline, and you watch as your business scales to the moon. What I'm talking about is so simple and straightforward, but this is the thing. Most business owners, most entrepreneurs, they don't think about these things. And let me tell you why you should. If you're like me, a CEO of a 7-figure plus agency who has launched over 2,000 plus automations, funnels, and AI infrastructures for over 300 plus marketing agencies, coaches, and consultants, you are really bogged in the work. You're taking care of your clients, providing them the best possible service. But here's the thing, when do you actually get time to take care of your own company? And I've heard this a lot, and to be honest, I was one of these people where my excuse was, oh, we have too many clients, we're doing the best work for them, but we're neglecting our internal systems and our vision and our product. But the truth is, if you're a lead gen agency, why should anyone use you if you can't get your own leads the right way? If you're an infrastructure and automation agency like we are, why should you use us if we don't have the best funnels, the best automations, and the best service out there? But when do we have time to think about these things if we're so bogged down with the clients? And that is exactly what this is for. All it takes is one weekend, sacrificing one Saturday and one Sunday in the whole year to build a business that will allow you to take the weekdays off in the future. In this video, I am going to go through the entire blueprint, the entire structure of what this workshop should look like, from how many days it should be, what you should talk about, breaking it down to the hour. Then I am going to give you the entire structure as a free PDF that you can download and you can implement today. By the end of this video, you should take away so much information and knowledge, and you should go ahead and set up your own weekend workshop with your team. It doesn't matter whether you're a 2-man team or whether you have 50 people. Bring an executive team together and come up with the plan, come up with the vision of the company and execute it, and watch how you scale like crazy because everyone is aligned. So with that being said, let us jump straight into what this workshop structure should look like. All right, so I've got my computer here open, and let's jump in and go through what this GoFunnels weekend session structure and flow looks like. So I've actually got the entire template here, and I want to walk you through what we did, and I will share with you this exact document so you can recreate the exact same thing for your company. Now, we did a 2-day workshop. So day 1 was on Saturday. We did it from 5 p.m. to 9 p.m. And the theme for day 1 was alignment and barriers. The goal was to make sure that we end the session being aligned with where the future of the company is going, and also what were the barriers that were stopping us or preventing us from reaching there. What we did is we started a 15-minute kickoff, going with ground rules, having a bit of a icebreaker. Then we had a 1-hour vision sharing session. That is where each member talked about their vision and what it looks like. Then we had a 75-minute blocker identification where we decided, okay, what's stopping us from achieving that vision? Then we had a 1-hour breakout problem solving. Then day 2, it was Sunday, 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. and the theme was convergence and execution. So we figured out what the alignment is, what the barriers to achieving that is. Now we converge and we decide how we're going to execute everything. So we had a 15-minute priority alignment, a 1 hour focused execution topic, 30 minutes of department commitments. So basically every executive team member of the departments were committing to a deliverable, and then we would decide the timeline to get that executed by, and then obviously we talked about the final wrap up and next steps. This is just the overall structure. Now we will go into the actual breakdown hour by hour, and what I'll do as well is I will cut in some footage of the actual call so you can see the tone, how it went, how serious it was. Again, this is not like a serious, crazy corporate, call. You're here with your teammates, you're here with, your people, your tribe, and you're trying to build a future for their families, for your families, for the company. So obviously it's not like some formal get together or you're going to be fired if you don't show up. Yes, it's extremely important, but you want to bring the culture in, they want to bring the team. So let's kind of jump into it with the hour by hour breakdown. So with day one, again, Saturday, 5 to 9 p.m., the theme is alignment and barriers. We started the first 15 minutes with kickoff and session framing. So this was facilitated by Zamil. This is another thing. You need a facilitator. You need to have this one person in the team whose job is just to facilitate the entire workshop. They're not going to be talking too much of this. They can jump in and add their points. They're making sure that you're not going out of topic. You are sticking to the structure, the plan, this plan that I'm showing you, and you are following through with it. So it needs to be facilitated. So you figure out who the facilitator is, they introduce themselves, they go through what the structure of the call is going to be like, they outline everything, the outcomes, how we're going to go through the vision, the barriers, the breakout rooms, the roadmaps, and who's the execution phase. And then you're going to have some quick ground rules, have open dialogue, respect time, and be solution focused, right? You're not there to just chat and waffle. Everything needs to be solution focused. This actually takes a lot of brain power. You'll be surprised how mentally exhausted you'd be after these workshops. All right, the second stage is the ideal future. So for 1 hour, we're just talking about the ideal future. Obviously, this may be shorter depending on the number of people in the team. We had quite a few people in this call, quite a few executive team members. So we gave about 7 to 10 minutes per person to kind of break down what the ideal future looks like for GoFunnels, our company, in the next 3 to 5 years. But we kind of didn't want to go more than 3 years. And the mediator, in this case again, was Zamil. They are writing everything down, whether it's in a whiteboard or a Miro or a FigJam, or a flow chart, whatever. If you want to have a physical paper, whatever, how you do it. We did ours on a Miro board, and I'll actually show you, I'll jump into the Miro board later on and show you how we did it. But each person talks about their vision, okay? What they see in GoFunnels, what they see in 3 years, how we're producing our services, how we're helping our clients, what we offer them, the whole package. Okay, then we take a 15-minute break. Next, we go on to the what is holding us back, okay? So we have figured out where our future is, where we want to go, okay? So in this case, for me specifically, as you've seen in some of the footage I've already shown, I wanted us to get to $1 million a month. That was like the overarching goal. We want to get $1 million a month in the next 3 years. What are we doing? What is our trajectory? What can we do better? So we had a list of about like 20 different things that was holding us back. So what is holding us back? Have an open discussion about what is slowing progress towards that vision. Call out blockers by category. Is it a strategy problem, a process thing? Is it to do with teammates? Maybe it's to do with the operations team or the sales team or the marketing team or the customer experience. Is it the tools that you're lacking, that you're not paying for? And then group everything into themes as well, like onboarding issues, knowledge gaps, unclear ownership, things of that nature. Then you spend another 1 hour in the breakout rooms. Okay, so you have breakout problem solving. How we did it is we gave each team member a number, put those numbers in like those random dials on the internet, and it just rotated and it matched two people of random numbers together, and those two would go into a breakout room, and they would choose out of like the 20 list, the list of 20 plus items we had that was holding us back. We would choose a couple and we would find the solutions for them in that breakout room. So that's what we did. We divided into 3 working groups. In this case, it was like sales and strategy engagement, prioritization, ops and tech, customer success and strategy support. These are like how we broke the executive team depending on their roles. And then each group picks 1 to 2 key blockers. Of course, if you have much more key blockers, you can make it 5 or something. And you brainstorm potential solutions. Then Once that's done, you come back, you recap the themes for each breakout, and then you set homework to bring proposals, ideas ready for convergence and roadmap building tomorrow. So we end the session finding out what our ideal solution to these problems that are holding us back are, and then we end it and wrap it there, because now tomorrow, the next day on Sunday, we will now be analyzing the solution each breakout room came up with, and then based on that collecting the best ideas, and then from there trying to execute on them. So let's now jump on to day number 2. So for day number 2, Sunday, we did it from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m. Again, it's very important to keep time, guys. These are very important workshops. Don't miss out on the time. Once the time has been set, make sure you're there. Theme was convergence, commitment, and execution. So the previous day, we came up with the vision and what's stopping us from reaching there. Now we want to converge everything. We want to commit to the deliverables. We want to execute on them and make sure it's done within a certain timeline. So the first 10 minutes was just a quick recap of day 1, framing the focus, aligning on goals, roadmap, and executional shifts. Then we had 50 minutes of vision and priority convergence. This is where we review the breakout room solutions from each breakout room. We identified 3 to 5 overarching goals that solve the biggest barriers. And then we agree on the 2025 goal and the 2026 vision milestones. Then we do a light alignment on a 3-year roadmap structure. After that, we take a quick 15-minute break, a bit of a stretch, a walk around, toilet break, whatever you want to call it. Then we come back and have 1 hour of execution topics. So this is any topic that anyone in the executive team had that they really wanted to get across, whether it's new processes or SOPs that they were going to implement that they wanted the team to know about. So for example, I had a quick topic session where I was presenting how we're going to have more funnel audit systems, and how our strategist will be doing more funnel audits for our leads and our clients so that they have a better blueprint and picture before working with us. I talked about different things about how we need to improve our onboarding experience. I talked about how our goal is to reach the $1 million a month and what we need to do to get there. All these different things. We even talked about how we need to train our team members and upskill them and all that. So different team members can talk about different things here. Then we had our department commitments and next steps. So this was a 30-minute session where each lead states 1 to 2 commitments they will own post-strategy weekend, identify quick wins versus long-term initiatives, and set timeline for post-session recap plus owner management. One thing that you can do here, which is actually what we did, is we had an impact effort matrix. What does that mean? When we came up with the solutions for the barriers, we put all these solutions in an impact effort matrix. So that means how much effort will it take and how much impact will it lead? So the best outcome would be something that's low effort but very high impact. So we looked at what would take the lowest effort and bring the highest impact. And then we looked at what would take a bit more of effort but still bring the highest impact. And then we decided to execute on those first. And that's where, we set a timeline for it, and we made sure teammates were assigned to it so they know who's responsible for those deliverables. Then after that was done, we took 15 minutes to wrap up. So our mediator, Zamel, he was summarizing the outputs, the visions, the blockers that were solved, the roadmap, and the execution commitments. And then we had a thank you and immediate next steps. Now the idea is, based on all of this, we have the deliverables now, we have the vision and the goal, and now the team will work to it. So what we're going to do is we're going to come back by the end of the next quarter, which is the goal we set to execute and eliminate all these bottlenecks. We will come back by the end of the next quarter and we will see whether we have solved these solutions and what held us back. So that's like the structure, okay? That's the basic structure. And again, as I said, you can get this free structure. I will give it to you for free. Just click the link below and you'll get a PDF to it. You can use the exact same structure, tweak it for your business, tweak the hours, the time, depending on how many teams are going to be there, and use it and get to work, all right? Find a weekend and get this structure done. Go through it with your team. What I'm going to quickly do now is I'm actually going to switch over to our Miro board, and I'm actually going to show you some of the things that we actually worked through. I'm going to show you some of the vision pieces we had, some of the blockers. I'm going to show you the impact effort matrix we built, and how we assigned the deliverables to our teammates using a framework called the Tracy framework. So with that being said, let us jump onto Miro now and show you what we actually worked towards in this workshop. All right, so here's the quick Miro board. As you can see, there's a lot going on here that we did, but it was so worth it. Let me kind of walk you through what it looked like. So this is kind of just like the rules and what we talked about, the same thing I just showed you right now. But let's start here. Remember I told you we talked about the vision statement. So everyone took a turn talking about where they see the company, what the goals are, how they see the company progressing and growing. So we had a quick discussion on that. And then we decided to look at, okay, what is stopping us? Okay, so firstly, we created a vision statement based on that. And then we decided, okay, what is stopping us? So we came up with about 20 different points about what is stopping us from reaching the desired outcome, the desired goal that we see ourselves in 3 years' time. And then what we did is, I know very quickly, I need to address this because someone's going to wonder, why is Elmo here? Well, our mediator, Zamil, had a very, this was his plan. He said, every time I put Elmo on the screen, or I show him, because obviously we're sharing our screen on the Zoom call, when I show Elmo, that means we have digressed too far. So you need to come back to the point. So again, you need to have a mediator that's really focusing the conversation. You're not here to waste time. This is a workshop. Everyone needs to do what they need to do. There's a structure. You have to follow that structure I showed you. And every time someone goes off script or goes on a tangent, you got to pop out Elmo. You got to bring them back in line. So what we did then, like I said, is we gave each member a number, we put them into teams, and then everyone went out and did into the break rooms, and they did their problem solving. So we picked, so I'll show you an example with me and Ali, our lead head of operations. We talked about multiple different things about how we need to solve the issue of consistent lead flow. On the sales side, we need to talk about collecting data, case studies, reducing churn, building on top of our Go Funnels approach, our unique mechanism, and so much more. We talked here on the more of the operations side. We mapped things out. The other team members, they did a lot of their own things, so they picked a few of the points and they talked on it, and we had much more as well. Then after we looked at everything, we put everything into an impact effort matrix. Okay, so what does that mean? That means there's high effort, high impact, low impact. And what you're doing is, so these are like the solutions. So after all our discussions and talking about the solutions to the problems, we came up with these 17 or so solutions of what the next steps look like, what we should focus on, for the next few months or the next few quarters to really boost the company and take it to the next level. So we decided together what of these solutions, where they would fit on this impact effort matrix. For example, this solution was a high effort, high impact, meaning it would take a lot of time and man hours to get it done, but the impact it would bring the business was huge. And then we have low effort, high impact, as you can imagine, easy to do, very quick, a very big impact. As you can imagine, this is obviously the first thing you want to work on because it's quick to do, it brings the highest impact. The second thing you want to work on is the stuff that's a bit longer to do, but again, brings the highest impact. Down here, this is the stuff you don't really want to prioritize, okay? Especially low effort, low impact. That means it's quick to do, but there's really not much going on with it. Like, it's not going to make a huge deal, okay? For example, I don't know, changing the air freshener in everyone's office to make them more productive. Like, that doesn't make any sense. High effort, low impact is again something you really don't want to prioritize. This is something that will take a very long time to do, but it's like minuscule in the amount of impact. This is more of when you're much bigger, much more further along the line, and now you're just trying to, tweak the smallest things to just have those little boosts in optimization and performance. So once we came up with that, then we went through the Tracy protocol. So what does this mean? The Tracy protocol it's Tracy, so R is responsible. Who is the person responsible that carries out the process of task assignment, and they're responsible to get the job done. Accountable, the person who's ultimately accountable for the process or tasks being completely appropriated. They're responsible person accountable to this person. C is consulted, so who are the people who are not directly involved with carrying out the task, but they are the ones being who are consulting. And informed are those who received output from the process or task or who have and need to stay informed. So we basically decided to focus on obviously these two up here, and we put them all in here where each person would have to focus on the deliverable, and members of the team would be assigned in terms of who will be responsible for taking care of that deliverable, who will be accountable. So who is the person who is going to keep following up with the people responsible to make sure they get it done, who will be consulted if they need expertise, and who will be informed about the process and the progress of the deliverable. So we did this for all the top deliverables up here. We didn't want to touch these until we get finished with all of these. So we did all of that. We gave them deadlines, and then essentially that was it. And then we had we said we'll start with the low effort, high impact, and then once we get through those, so these were something that we need to get done quickly. So these would ideally take a week to get each deliverable done. Then we looked at the high effort, high impact, and these are deliverables that we expected to get done by the end of the quarter. Okay, so we would want to get these done by the end of Q2, and these are all those deliverables that we set out over here. So honestly, this was all we did, and let me tell you, like, we would have never done this on a weekday, because if I was to show you my calendar, especially since I'm mostly in the sales and making these videos, like, I'm taking 10 calls a day. Right, the team is busy with all the clients, the strategists are busy, the consultants are busy. Like, if we didn't do this, it would have been impossible. Okay, so it was an amazing experience. And again, it's these things that business owners, entrepreneurs, and businesses, they just don't do them, and that's what stops them. Sometimes the bottleneck isn't how many clients you're getting and how your ads are performing. Sometimes the bottleneck is your internal operations, it's your process, it's your system, it's your culture. And the only way to find a solution to these bottlenecks is by doing workshops like this. It's by doing these sessions. And yes, it takes sacrifice. Yes, it means one weekend gone, no spending time with family, 5 hours on a Saturday and a Sunday slogging with the team. But then you build a vision and you have alignment, and now you're excited and you're invigorated to take it to the next level. That's like the front end, right? Building the actual systems. I also want us to be the number one community for marketing agencies, coaches, or any of our clients who need the infrastructure support, right? So I want us to go all in on building out these courses. I want us to go all in on the support packages, the community. My vision, and I'm really glad after hearing a lot of what you guys are saying, it is like a wrap up of what everyone has already said. Obviously, I have a very high vision for GoFunnels. I want us to be the number one solution for infrastructure. Just infrastructure to do with these online businesses. Anything to do with setting up your business and the infrastructure required for it, they need to come to GoFunnel. I look at people like Charlie Morgan. I look at people like, even our friend Jordan Platten, Hormozi, like all these guys, Tony Robbins. Yes, we were talking to someone who's a good friends with Tony Robbins. Inshallah, we'll be doing a project with them, and that might be the first door into working with someone like Tony Robbins. But these guys are like they're known in their industry, in their niche for a specific thing. And I want GoFunnels to be known for anything when it comes to not just funnels, automation, AI, infrastructure, anything to do, with this. That is the goal. I want us to be like the number one place for that. Within 3 years time, like, I want GoFunnels to be a $1 million a month business. Okay, and when I say $1 million a month, there has to be the breakdown has to obviously be in a specific way. Us doing the service we're currently doing right now, where we are doing this infrastructure building, that will probably cap at maybe $300K a month, let's be honest, a bit more. But where the bulk of the rest comes from will be from the support packages we offer. Yeah, $1 million a month, 100%. And how it's broken down, from how I kind of see it, is there'll probably be a cap in like what we're currently doing with GoFunnels at the moment. That will probably cap at maybe $300-400 a month, but the remaining amount needs to be filled. How? Productization. So the Replit team, the development team, coming up with these SaaS products. Like Atif was showing me some crazy A/B testing tool. That could be selling for a couple dollars a month. Or other products that can be integrated with high level. So that's how the breakdown will be. It will be the main service, it will be our support packages, it will be the SaaS that we do, or the products that we make, and then also partnerships, I would say as well. That's my vision for 3 years now, and I just wanted to get it out there. If you feel like $1 million a month is a huge number and it's impossible to get, my goal right now is to tell you that there is nothing stopping us from getting there. Nothing is stopping us. So my goal by saying this statement, in 3 years I want us to be doing $1 million a month, is to get everyone to understand that is the goal. It will take time, but it's achievable, and it will take effort, and we need to all be aligned, and that's what this call is for as well. Whew. I have just come out of that 2-day workshop, and I am shivering because I am so excited of what the future holds for this company, for GoFunnels, for what we're going to do for our clients, for what we're going to bring, the products that we have. Genuinely, I'm so excited because this is how we build GoFunnels as the #1 infrastructure company for businesses, for agencies. This is how we build GoFunnels as the #1 CIO, Chief Infrastructure Officer. If we did not do this 2-weekend workshop, I'm telling you, we would have been so far behind. And the crazy thing is, like, I'm just thinking about this in my mind, coming out of this workshop, it just reinvigorated me. It got me so excited, so ready for the future. Like, we have given ourselves high goals to achieve, and it's gonna be stressful. It's gonna be 16-hour days for me now, but it's got me excited for the future. Like, there is no reason why in the next 2 to 3 years, God willing, that we are not $1 million a month company. There's no reason why. So very excited, and I'm glad I brought you guys on this journey with me. But man, exciting times ahead. And I hope that this breakdown of this workshop, the structure I'll show you in this video, is useful to you. If you are even if you're a 2-man team, like, businesses neglect doing these things, so you need to just do it. Take 1 weekend off. You're sacrificing 1 weekend to build a business that will allow you to take the weekdays off in the future, you know? So very worth it. You know, we're so boggled taking care of our clients that we forget to take care of the business and what we need to do to scale the business and take it to the next level. And sometimes just sacrificing 2 days, just sacrificing a weekend, you know, 3 hours, 5 hours each weekend, that's all it takes. And this was an amazing workshop. Hands down to Zamil, our mediator and our team member who led this. Having an amazing team is so rewarding, and I'm grateful for the team. I'm grateful for what we've done and where we're going to go, and I'm grateful for bringing you along this journey. And I will see you in the next video.